The artist Jonathan Quintin, who will be giving us a 15-minute primer in sacred geometry, what it is, what the mathematical principles underlying it are, how we can apply that in our field of knowledge, and let's see the sacredness and mathematics of geometry. Jonathan's just setting up now. Let me read you a bit here.
Test 1, 2, 3.
He's all right. He's on.
This isn't going through yet. That's good, yeah.
Go to the front of house to see if we can get your image.
Please, thanks. Okay, as soon as we get the picture up here. I've got 15 minutes to take you on a journey exploring the mind of God, inside the mind of God. Oh, cool, okay. Okay, what's not going on here? See, it's that one.
Minimize it again. You can see.
Oh, you got it. Great. Okay, now I have to maximize it. Okay, we can do it. I lost it again. And Mercury isn't even retrograde. Oh, actually, I can do this here, like that. Okay, we are ready. So, I am going to take you inside the mind of God, beginning with the most profound, the most sacred symbol in the known universe, a portal that will open you to the inner workings of nature, the laws of creation. So hold on, here it comes. That's it. Okay, I don't actually need to show you anything more than that because that contains all the answers of creation. The only thing is, it's what you do with it. So let's try doing a few things. Let's, organize it, divide it into 5 and then 10 segments. And we get a shape, the decagon, which forms the framework of a cross-section of the DNA molecule. We do something else. We play the length of the edge of the pentagon against the interangular relationship and measure them together. 1.618 times longer than the edge gives us a principle that is traditionally known as the golden ratio, phi. And here's some of the things this can do. It's just a progression where each length is 1.618 times longer than the length that preceded it. And so we're going to use this rainbow sequence and see some of the amazing things that can be done with it, just depending on how it's organized. So we're starting here with some triangles, golden proportion triangles, and now the pentagon, and seeing how this progression can be organized in different ways, and subdivided and further divided, and everything is in golden proportion. Stars fitting within stars, stars fitting within star points, stars fitting within star spaces. And there's no end because every single star in here has the possibility to divide and subdivide and collapse into infinite contraction, all according to the golden ratio. Okay, so now we've got the scale slightly different. Now each length measures the side of a pentagram star. And each pentagram star belongs to a circle of 10 stars, moving out towards infinite expansion, in towards infinite contraction through multiplication or division of the golden ratio. Now, here's where it gets really interesting because we use the same scale that makes stars and apply it to the human form, to the medium, average, ideal human form. And we see that the human form is a language of sacred geometry, of the golden ratio. Every part of the human form relates to another part of the human form according to the golden ratio. And the most exquisite expression of the golden ratio in the universe, the known universe, is the human face, because everything about it is golden proportional. Not just the face, not just the body, every part of the body, including the organs and the nervous system and the brain. Not just the human form, every living creature on the face of the earth is founded upon, is organized by the golden ratio. And there's no end to the ways it can be organized. Here we have a golden rectangle comprised of squares, all in golden proportion. And this measures the side view, the length of a 360-degree rotation of the DNA. Whether it's straight lines or curved lines, it's all golden proportional. All that simple relationship of 1 in ratio to 1.618. From the atomic level to the celestial level to spiral galaxies, we are a reflection, we are a fractal of the universe where the whole is reflected in the part. And that's just the functional side of it. There's another side of it that really, really excites me, and that is particularly the artistic side. So we take the pentagon, the double pentagon, and remember this shape, the decagon, framed the cross-section of the DNA. Here it does something completely different. Here, first of all, it's surrounded by 10 pentagram stars, and I'm showing you just a few examples of the infinite number of ways that the space within the decagon can be filled, just as it can be surrounded in an infinite number of ways by stars and pentagons and triangles and rhomboids. And so, what we're doing here is we're tapping into a really profound order that exists in the form of invisible mathematical principles existing upon the archetypal planes. And as you can see, it's quite amazing the way things fit together, the way that these diverse and contrasting shapes all come together in perfect concordance in their relationship to the circle and to pi and to the golden ratio. I think the reds are a little bit hard to see in this light, but it does become into colour very soon. And it shows how, just by applying the golden ratio, we can go in towards infinite contraction through division of the golden ratio, out towards infinite expansion through multiplication of the golden ratio. Now, this geometry is quite exquisite. The way it all fits together, I hope you can see that on the screen, but that red is a bit hard to see and it's not really dark enough to see it that well. But what's happening is thousands of stars of different sizes are fitting perfectly together in perfect interconnectivity, expressing the interconnectivity of life and expressing how geometry is the underlying organizing principle of creation. But we're taking it a little bit further than that. With these geometries, and pretty soon we're going to move into colour, it'll be easier for you to see the patterns and just how exquisitely and remarkably and profoundly all these shapes fit together. Thousands and thousands of shapes of different sizes at different angles, all coming together in perfect organisation, arrangement around the circle, around the centre of the circle. And remember, it's all based on the circle. All of this activity is going on inside the circle and outside the circle. Okay, now we get into more colourful stuff. And so, okay, artist, author, designer. Who is responsible for these geometries? Now, I did this. I coloured them. I worked out the geometries in that, but I am not the designer. I just worked a few things out. The question is, who is the original designer? Who is the original artist, the original architect of these amazing geometries? And the answer to that question is actually self-evident, because what you're looking at are pre-existing mathematical principles. Always were, always will be, that exist independent of space and time, independent of chaos, independent of religion, according to Plato, independent even of creation. Because these mathematical principles don't even need creation to exist as mathematical principles, invisible on the archetypal planes. So the answer to who designed these is it comes from the same designer who designed the human body, and the frogs and the horses and the flowers and the spirals, spiral galaxies, spiral DNA, all of these things. It comes from the same source. This comes from universal intelligence, central intelligence of the universe, the creator, God, goddess, whatever you want to call it, whatever it means to you. That is what is responsible for these geometries. Now, why? What's the purpose? Why did the creator of the universe create these geometries in this way? Because it's art, it's beautiful, sublime, supreme art. And in my view, as an artist, I would say that this artist, the universal mind artist, did it for the same reason that we physical artists do our work. Love, for the love of it. So we are looking right now at expressions of the Creator's love and passion for geometry, because everything in creation is geometric. God, the Creator, is the master geometer, the supreme artist. God, the Creator, whatever that means to you, that concept, nature, universal mind, whatever, did this. I just joined the dots and I applied a few colours to make it manifest and apparent to the observer. But ultimately, the original designer, the creator of the universe. And so, what's the purpose of these? Well, it's art, and if you want to get to know the artist more, well, you explore their art, you study their art, you contemplate their art. The more you engage with an artist's art, the more you get to know them, the more you understand them, who they are, where they're coming from, what's the purpose, what are their abilities, what's the message. And so the more time we look at these geometries, it's opening us to our relationship to the universe. Because these shapes are not shapes, they are shapes, but they're so much more than shapes. They're actually mathematical programs. I showed you very briefly some of the properties of the pentagon. I'm using other shapes here now, including the square and the triangles and hexagons and hexagrams and octagons and octograms and a few others, and the spirals and all of that. And as you look at them, in your mind's eye, you're recreating these images. And these images have frequency, have resonance, have purpose. clock isn't working here, so I don't know how long I've got. 5 minutes. Okay, thanks. Okay, so as we engage with this, then we are engaging with the mind of the Creator. And these geometries, with their harmonic frequencies in our mind, are stimulating neural pathways in our mind that are opening us up more, opening our relationship to the universe, and drawing out more of our potential. Because the principle or the theory here is that we're all born with genius. But sadly, most of us don't get to connect with it and draw upon it and exercise it, express it. Geometry helps you do that, because sacred geometry helps to bring into balance that which is out of balance, helps to connect you with the greater whole. The ancients had a term for it, the journey home, meaning that when the soulmate is transitioned from the ethereal plane to the physical plane, experienced a sense of separation and a yearning to return home to the oneness, to unity. Sacred geometry helps in that way, because sacred geometry is both the spiritual and the physical. It's the manifest and the unmanifest, the bounded and the boundless, the finite and the infinite. It's a bridge, it's a portal that connects us as our individual selves and opens us to unity consciousness. And that's the ultimate goal of sacred geometry, is actualizing and awakening to unity consciousness. And it has been used in that way, for that purpose, over thousands of years. And it's there for everyone. Used to be, in the olden days, Pythagoras was the one who broke this pattern, where it was only available to the elite, to the initiates of the schools of initiation, the mystery schools. Pythagoras was the first one to disseminate this information to the ordinary person. Paid with it for his life, but he changed the pattern. And now it's freely available to anyone who seeks it out. And it's there for us. It's there, invisible upon the archetypal planes, but we need to seek it out. It's there for the consciousness that can reflect upon itself, that is human consciousness. And my time is up, so thank you very much. I do have videos of this, the rest of it over there. There was a very, very quick, very quick look at a very, very vast field, and just wanted to give you information. If you want to see more, my website is sacredgeometry.com.au, and I'm giving an event, a 2-hour event in Byron next month, the 16th of January. I've got Friday evening, the 11th, but it's actually Wednesday, the 16th. I forgot to change that. You'll get all the information on my website, sacredgeometry.com.au. Videos over there, Phoenix Rising. Thank you very much, everyone. It was a pleasure, as quick as it was. Thank you.
Jonathan Quintin, thank you. I remember Jonathan years ago coming to Byron, maybe for the first time. We had some time on radio together. Always remember that. So just before I introduce our next wonderful presentation, to remind you that after this, at about 4:45, we'll be having the Spontaneous Evolution panel in here with Bruce Lipton, Kirk Nugent, Reinhard Flatischler, Zenith Virago, Catherine Roski, and David Pamal. Time for you to ask some questions, and there'll be some other things, so don't go away too far. But right now, stay here, right here, for the amazing Matt and Angel, the future sound of yoga, a true Shiva and Shakti.
Hi everyone, my name's